Raised Rowdy.
Welcome to the Raised Rowdy podcast. I'm your host, Nick Tressler.
Yes, you are.
And then welcome, Mr. Danny Worsnop. Thanks for being here, brother.
Not a problem.
So we had an unfortunate event that kind of led to this happening.
Yeah.
We were both at the Rock the Country in Michigan, and of course I was there emceeing the side stage. We helped with the Raised Rowdy stage there, and we were very much looking forward to seeing your set.
I'm taking your word for this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a tough day. Yeah, that's the for those that didn't know, Danny's set got rained out. We had a lightning strike. I was at side stage when
How many people got to play that stage? Like two?
Two of the four. Yeah. So we had in Colton Bolin was playing right when we saw the lightning in the distance hit, and the stage manager was like, "Was that lightning?" And then they got a call over the radio that there was lightning. That is the hard part about outdoor events. It is. And that.
Listen, no shade to the people putting on these festivals. I love you all, and I'm very appreciative for you and the hard work and lots of investment that you make.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 20 years, so I've done the festival circuit for almost all of that. And yeah, they're all during tornado season.
Yeah, it's tough.
In my 20 years, I have at least one a year is rained out or canceled because of a storm hitting. Move it back a month.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such an interesting thing too. Like, we're heavily in the festival world. So like this year we have been, not me at all of them, Matt even more than me, who is like more of our like MC, like real MC, is just they're variable based on when that location would be down to have you there, you know. And they're like, put it in summer when the kids are off school, you know.
Like I get the math.
Yeah.
But like after this many years, no one at any point has been like, I'm like, hey.
I know.
They probably have.
They have. And one of the things that...
that's not my bright idea.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I like, too, is like some of the locations will have a side stage that's like undercover.
Yeah.
So Matt was
like
at one, Crossroads 41, and they had that. It was like almost like under like a tent kind of vibe. And then one that's in like Ohio that I love is... country. It's called Country Concert, and so it is like they have it built out, but they own the land.
Yeah.
So a lot of that depends on like, do they own the land? The company Peachtree that put on Rock the Country bought land so they could do Rock the South there, and I'm hoping that leads to like increased infrastructure. And the thing I will say is, after the rain got done, the ground wasn't terrible where we were.
When we loaded out, it was fine.
It was solid. So it didn't like totally screw up that area, so you could tell like that's a well laid out plot of land. You know, they have it draining properly. But I was very upset because I got to see you, of course, play when you played our takeover that we did with Rock Down South, acoustic, but I haven't gotten to see you full band. And I know, you know, just chatting with you, that you were excited to get in front of that crowd too.
I didn't sleep the night before, so it's been a rough year on that front.
Yeah.
As I was talking to people about it, I realized I haven't had one single show this entire year that hasn't either been canceled out from under me for one reason or another, or cut short for one reason or another. I haven't done one full show all year.
Crazy. It's this festival series, this like season, like again, like we're at like I guess 15 festivals this summer, just as like a brand. And almost all of them at least had some rain that got canceling stuff. Yeah. The hard part too is that there's not as many club shows happening. No. We've talked to promoters, we've talked to club owners, we've talked to artists. It's a tough economy for music right now.
I mean, it's a combination of the economy in general.
Yeah. And
also the way tickets have just gone up and up and up and up, and all the fees and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a broken record on it. We all know the situation, but it's just made those small shows that, you know, historically would have done great because it's $15, $20, maybe $25 a ticket.
Yeah.
They're $50, $60.
Right.
For people to go, and they're not going by themselves, so that's $120.
Right.
And you know,
hotel.
They can charge for parking, so they do charge for parking.
Right.
And then, you know, drinks are $15, and before you know it, like going to a small club show
gets expensive.
$250.
Yep. It's one of those things where it's like, what's the right answer on fixing it? I don't know. I'm trying to silence my phone.
It's tough. I think it depends. it depends on what the artist is capable of taking on. Because I think one answer to it is cutting out promoter and just
Doing it DIY.
Rent the venue, do it yourself, house the tickets yourself,
Yeah.
set the price at a normal thing. But, you know, that's a giant investment and gamble on the
Yeah.
artist's part because you have to get everyone there. That's not cheap. You have to do all the marketing and all the promotion and everything. And if you don't live there,
Yeah. Take all the
how
expenses.
do you do that?
Yeah.
You end up doing what a lot of the promoters do now, which is post something to Facebook, post something to Instagram,
Yeah.
end of list.
Right. That's the interesting thing too. Is like I've been trying to figure it because again, like we all know it's a problem.
Yeah.
But there's this girl Kels, and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so she's from that area, and she's not like country. It's like bluesy soul kind of vibes. She is selling a ticket in a market before she knows where she's doing the show, and she's getting people to say they're gonna come to pay the $25 or whatever it is. She's getting all the consumer data herself, as opposed to, you know, Ticketmaster holding that and not giving it to you, even though you're the one that's selling the tickets. And then based on how many she gets for pre-sale, they're figuring out where to put it.
That's great. It's similar to, I had a very not as well rounded out version of that idea in like February. I think I'd sent a voice note to someone about it, and it was like, what if we just sell tickets and we don't book the venue until later?
Yeah.
Because we'll sell out everything.
Yeah.
It'll look real good.
Yeah.
And it's good for the venue because the venue's full. It's good for us because the venue's full. It's good for the fans because the venue's full.
Mm-hmm. And what she's doing is she's even doing like interesting spaces.
Yeah.
So if it's 50 people.
Have you seen that company that, who did it? Is it Taking Back Sunday or someone did? They've made a new platform.
The All American Rejects, I think?
Yes. Yeah. It's called Playhouse or something?
Yeah. It looks super cool.
I've seen that. Because I when it came out, they'd sent me a thing about it, so I have an account. I haven't used it yet, but like every week I'll get like a random offer from someone. There's some wild ones.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, you want to come play? We'd like to invite you to come play my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I get why it's very cool, but also sketchy.
Well,
I might be being pessimistic.
No, I will say this: can be sketchy if you're the first person to do it.
Yeah.
But like, for example, I know people that have done house shows in Kentucky, and it's more like singer-songwriter style than full band style, and they've done 60 of them. So you're like, okay, I know this works.
Yeah.
You know. I think house concerts are what's next. Or,
I mean, it's the old school.
Yeah, and that's it. I think the more we
Garage
lean
bands are
in,
coming back.
they are, man.
Everyone wants real.
I know.
Too much digital crap.
Yes, AI and your social feed full of everything, and your brain stuck on it because they made us stuck on it. Yeah. Dude, people are at the mall again. The kids are at the mall, and they're wearing freaking baggy jeans.
I love it when like my niece or like talking to someone else's kids and social media comes up.
Yeah.
And they're just like, that's for old people. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I think it's, you know, again, like it is a way you can, it's a way you can market, right? And I think there's bands, specifically like a band like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Cigarettes at Sunset. Mm-hmm. They are like a alt rock country adjacent band that is popping right now, and they're using social media really well. They're having help. Like they got significant management. You can tell by how many accounts they have running that are all Possum Rock and Possum Rock HQ. Yeah. But they also came to Nashville and did a pop-up show in someone's backyard that their management, it's where All American Rejects played when they were here.
It's in East, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like, I didn't know at the time until it came out about the app and stuff.
Yeah.
I was on the road, but I was calling home, and she was outside. Someone's like just in their backyard, just blasting music.
Yeah.
That was like a block away from my old house here.
Oh, really?
And she was
crazy.
complaining about it, and it was a couple days later. I was like, I saw that online.
Yeah. It's so funny, like, because a band like that has got so much press from doing it, right? So that's like, it's just a new form of media. It's like, where do you get your press from?
Yeah.
Right? Like back when I was a kid, I mean, I'm older than you, but MTV was where I got all my lore. I was watching MTV when I was a kid, when I was supposed to be watching cartoons, and then it was modern rock radio or modern country radio, like whatever, but that was the gatekeeper. Now attention's the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
How do you get it? Right. So is it like, have you ever heard the band Silly Goose?
I don't think so.
Silly Goose is a rock band. They're from the Atlanta area. They're kind of like Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine-y, like rap rocky.
Yeah.
They will pop on top of their van outside of a rock festival and play a show at a parking lot or a gas station, and they get kicked out most of the time.
Yeah.
But it's spectacle.
That's part of it.
Yeah, it's spectacle,
If they didn't get kicked out, people would talk about it less.
Yeah, and Danny Wimmer has put them on festivals after they got kicked out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then has since like started booking them because that's how they got their attention, So it's like they are using social media, of course, like everybody else is, posting videos of them lip singing their songs, right? There's some of that for almost every brand, but they're also using it to get 100 people into a parking lot to cause some chaos enough that they get picked up in a press cycle.
Yeah. See, that's good. I like that because I'm an anti-social media person.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't like it.
It's tough.
I embraced it in the beginning, like at the beginning of my career, 20 years ago. It was useful and it was good and it was great. But now it's something else, and I don't like the thing it is.
Yeah.
Because you're right, it is good for marketing, or it can be good for marketing. I don't know the algorithm, Mark, so it's not good. It's not great for me. But it can be very good for marketing. But the problem with that, and I think why a lot of the younger kids aren't really getting into it, is that it can be really good for marketing, and that's all that's on there now.
Yeah.
There's very little that is genuinely for entertainment.
Yeah.
Everything's selling you something.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how long do I want to sit and watch ads today?
Yeah. And that is the hard part. Social media used to be the feed of this is your friends.
Yeah.
And here's the stuff your friends are doing. Here's what they're eating for dinner.
or even when it is the bigger people, it's like you're getting to see inside their life.
Right.
Get to know them a bit. Now it isn't. Is what are they promoting today?
Yeah. I've, as a, brand owner / like quasi promoter / like whatever you call what we do, media company, have had trouble talking to the camera too. Right. I had a radio show back in Pittsburgh when I was still living over there, which editorial, and I could talk to that, and it was weird talking to no one, but then once I could talk to no one, I could kind of talk to everyone.
Yeah.
And then
everyone's better at conversation than the wall.
For sure. Yeah. And then, we host writers rounds and stuff, but my version of hosting writers rounds, get up on stage, say names, say something for 10 seconds, get off stage, like you would have gotten to see that if I actually got to intro you. I'm not up there for 10 minutes.
I've done a couple of years.
Yeah. But Matt's got to intro those. Yeah. He's more of our MC. He can get up there and talk for 3 minutes. For me, it's always been about the song and about the artists, so I just get up there. I let them know who everyone is, tell people to writers round to shut the fuck up, and then, go about my business. Yeah. But the key is you want to create an experience.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it's about.
And in this town, a writer's round is an experience like that. A lot of places don't get. Like
most places don't get.
Right. It's
like
that
here
doesn't
in
happen.
Austin.
Yeah, and maybe a few other places like Blue Light in Texas, some other spots, but nothing like that has the culture of what we have. Not everyone has 1,000 people that are just begging to try to find friends or begging to try to find a publisher or try to find a manager, Yeah. And honestly, we have it less than we used to. Our live events are harder because you can get on TikTok and you can find real fans on there.
Yeah.
You could go live on TikTok and you can get 20 people to donate $20 to you.
So is it people are less interested in the writers round now because they feel like it's not a necessary part of the...
It's not a necessary part. You can get discovered and never hit town. You
can get discovered now and never play a show ever.
Absolutely. We were Bailey Zimmerman's first show ever.
I've talked to a few like newer artists who've, gone the social media success and then they're going into shows. And I feel bad I wouldn't want to be in that position.
It's tough.
Because you now have really, really big shoes to fill. And you've never learned how to. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Writing and recording songs and performing songs live are two completely different skill sets.
100%.
And they do like the crossover is like are you competent on your instrument? But
Right.
other than that, there is no crossover.
Yeah.
Especially as a singer, because it's not even you competent at your instrument. Because at that point, you're on adrenaline. It's a different it's a different thing.
That's one of the things that is tough. And honestly, like, we're at the gate of it. Like, we get to see people do some of their first full band shows. Yeah. But you'd rather do it around your friends in Nashville than in front of 1,500 people.
Like, if you mess up, people are going to talk about for 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that, like, that was to 15,000 people.
Yeah.
And your career was over before it started.
Yeah. That is tough. And the hard part is those clubs, whether it was cover gigs or, you know, you're opening for someone, that's where you got your reps.
Yeah.
You know, you see what song hits with the fan.
You learn how to not be terrified of a room full of people looking at you.
Yeah. And they're not getting that now. No. And that is one of the things where I'm like, how can we make it impactful for these artists so they want to do it, or so that they feel like it's valuable enough to do it? The thing we always say is, like, that's where you find your friends when you move to Nashville.
It's good networking.
Like, of course, like, you didn't have to do that, you know.
I should have done that.
Well,
I'm bad because I don't drink anymore, so I don't go out. But no, I'm a terrible networker, and I spent a great deal of my time here where it's like I'd get into a room, and you know, once I'm there, cool.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, that was the only place I met people. Like, I should have done it, and you know, hindsight's 20/20.
Oh.
And now I'm not living full time in town.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting everything doing it, and I'm going into writing sessions, and I'm doing the rounds and stuff. Whereas, I mean, when I lived here, I was here. Last time being here full time, I think I was here 3 years. I did maybe over the course of those 3 years, like 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah. Well, it's such an interesting thing too, because like, how old were you when you did that? You know, because most of the kids that are moving here that are doing that are in their 21.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm 35 now, so
right.
32.
32.
When I first moved over here, I did them more often. It was at was that called Blue Note as well? It was opposite Losers?
Yeah. What was it?
Blue something.
Yeah, Blue Room.
Yeah.
Blue
it's that
Room?
white people taco place now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd play there a lot because my buddy had one that they did there.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that was like 2014, 2015.
And that was honestly a great time for it because social media wasn't how it is, you know?
The algorithm didn't choke you down yet.
Yeah. I feel like that was a great time for live music in Music City. And we're still at a great time for live music in Music City. But the way you got discovered then was you went out and they saw how good you were, you know? And someone's like, oh, let's attach ourselves to that.
I think we're gonna get back there sooner than later.
Yeah.
I'm seeing and foreseeing a big shift into just very, very real organic stuff. I think live music is about to have a massive comeback. I don't know how that works with the economy side of it, but it'll get figured out. I think
agree.
Between the AI stuff and, I mean, let's be honest, from the music production side for the last at least 15 years, but longer probably. Not definitely longer. Even pre-AI, everything is, if not programmed instruments, everything from a little inside of it, everything is tuned.
Yeah, 100%.
Everything is quantized. Guitars are tuned.
Yep.
Everything's been perfect. So I think that's where the AI trouble comes in for some artists, because it's like AI can do what you do. Because everything you do, you make it so perfect. And sure, I get it. You want it to be perfect. I'm guilty of that as well. But you made everything so perfect that it can do that.
Yeah.
The mistakes are what it can't do.
Right.
It can't make a mistake. It can do something wrong on purpose, and that's a very different thing.
Right. I think that's
I think because of that, like people are gonna want that live music thing again.
Agree.
You know it's real if it's in front of you.
100%. And that's why I think things like live records and experiences, right? So in my head, a backyard concert is an experience.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have had, before I lived here, I've had buddies pop up to Pittsburgh and play in my living room of a 1-bedroom apartment for me and 25 of my friends, right? That's an experience. Those people are going to be Ryan Nelson fans forever because Ryan came and played to them. Yeah. You know, they're like, why don't we have Ryan back? I'm like, well, you won't give me your living room to do it, you know? But I think that is going to bubble up. And honestly, that's why I like festivals, because you're engulfed in it.
Yeah.
You know, you're there for a weekend, you're camping, you're in it with your friends.
You're going to see someone new.
Yeah.
The odds of, and I'm sure there are people out there, I'm sure probably more than I imagine, who they'll walk past, see a name they've never seen before, and buy a ticket to that show. 99% of people are not doing that. Probably
Yeah.
And so it's hard to get discovered that way because it's like no one knows you yet.
Yeah.
So it's that's the big upside to the festivals, both the backstage camaraderie, which I love, and from the fact I've never attended a festival as a fan.
It's great.
I imagine so. I see how much fun they have.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they don't have AC.
Yeah.
But just the ability to perform for new people and share your music with new people.
Yeah.
That's the invaluable part of it.
And I hate that you didn't get that this weekend because the day before, Demon Jones, which is like, country rap, had everyone in the crowd, and he said, whose first time has this seen Demon Jones? And 75% of the crowd was there.
Yeah.
And a lot of those same people were going crazy, rocking out to it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I found some of my favorite artists that I chased tours 2 times or 3 times in a weekend, like the bands like the Cadillac 3, for the first time at a festival by the promoter or whoever curating a good quality lineup of who was next. And that's why, like, Raise Rowdy, we feel like we're kind of like A&R for the fans, right? So it's that's the best way to present it. Like, they're already here to see Jason Aldean or Treaty Oak Revival, right? Let's show them what's next, or what should be next if it's not gonna be. Well, I hope we can get you back on another festival soon, man.
I'm doing Velocity in like 3-4 weeks.
Where's that at?
That's in Iowa. It's on the Field of Dreams site.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Yes.
So I'm doing that one, and then I was supposed to be out starting in 2 weeks, and that tour got pulled out from under me. It was a whole thing online. Because there was a meeting that I wasn't a part of, and it got cancelled. And I don't imagine any shady behavior from anyone, but I would have disagreed with it and tried to find a different way of going about it. So I had that pulled out from under me. I posted something about it. I got hit up. It was a beautiful thing. During a frustrating time, I had so many people hitting me up, trying to just move shows, book shows, add new things. So I've got a bunch of just fly out acoustic stuff. Filling up my September and that time I was supposed to be on the road. So I've got some of those going out to Arizona in 2 weeks, 21st and 22nd there. And then I'm out in October with Goodbye June.
I saw that.
Also acoustic.
Yeah.
So I'm I love playing acoustic shows, but
you want to do the full band.
I want to play guitar solos, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you came from a background where the music was full production. So, I mean, I know you've had a journey, of course, of all of the music that you've done, whether it's from Asking Alexandria all the way to your first solo projects to where kind of you're at now sonically, and it's like where you're at now. Specifically, the most recent single is like that's a redemption song. It's and I saw you like solo wrote that. Why don't we speak about the new single and just like where you came from and even the production wise, what.
I have a new song called Until the End of Time.
Yep.
I was waiting for a Zoom call. I own a tequila company also, so sometimes I have to put a business hat on.
Yeah.
And pretend to be a competent business owner.
Yeah. Working on that right now.
Well, I'm about to show how not good at it is. Because I was waiting on a Zoom call, and I was sat in my office, and I've got a little guitar there. And I started playing around, and I found that first line that, I've been fighting off some demons. Sorry that I ain't been around in a while. And I was like, okay. Closed the Zoom session, sent a text. I was like, I'm not making it, and just sat and wrote that song. And then I'm very blessed to have a recording studio in my house, so I just got to work on that. It was. I'm a firm believer in I don't write songs. God puts them there and I find them.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm smart enough to come up with half the stuff I've quote unquote written. But yeah, I got to work on that, and it was just a tale of how historically awful love life I am. I'm desperately trying not to be. Sometimes I'm at fault, sometimes I'm the victim. But, aren't we all? Production-wise, this was like my big shift into what my philosophy has become everything. But was definitely the big shift musically where I was like, cool, we are banning tracks We're banning just extra production tracks because I'm like I just love being able to watch it all live.
Yeah.
The extra production being like, because I can't afford to pay all of these extra people to play it all live.
Right.
So it's like, cool, here's the band. If they're not in this room, we can't add it.
Yeah.
So let's figure out everyone's parts real carefully because, yeah, a B3 would sound awesome here. It would be really cool, but I can't afford to add a B3 player onto this. So here are 5 people, or now 4 people. Here's our people. Let's make sure that everyone's parts fill all the spaces they need to fill because we can't add stuff. If there's a guitar solo happening, there can't also be that backing guitar part there because who's playing it?
Right.
Because I want it to just feel live. And like, there's also like, we're not allowed to quantize stuff. We're not tuning everything. If I hit if I have a great take, which just all the soul's there and I'm a bit sharp on something, by all means pull it down a little bit.
Yeah.
If it has to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, the album's full of mistakes, which I love because you listen to it and I just want to make Leonard Skinner records.
Yeah.
So just listen to it and it's like, yeah, I can tell a human being played every single part of this.
I think that's the thing, like we've been talking about, that is going to bring people to music. One of my buddies, Colby Acuff, we did a song and recorded it live, and he's like, do not tune my vocal at all.
Yeah.
Because what you see is what you get, and that's powerful when you're in a live show.
Yeah.
And I had recently we got to go see Wyatt Flores play at the Skinny Dennis in East Nashville for an album release show for his new record. And my favorite parts of the show were where he messed up.
Yeah.
My favorite parts of the show were where he was like, I have to run to the bathroom. Do you want to play a song to his guitar player? And his guitar player's like, not really. That's the thing that we only got that night.
Yeah.
That you don't get every night,
100%.
when
You
he has
also,
the whole band there.
Just for anyone out there who's especially a singer and, they're going in and they're like, yeah, tune it, make it sound great. You also setting yourself up for failure because you have to go down. You've got to live up to that now.
You got to go play it
If
live.
you just do it well as yourself, they're already expecting that. You don't go, I don't know, they're not as good as a record. So if you make it too perfect, you can't be perfect.
I got to see, of course, Jason Aldean this week, and he sounds like the record, right? Like, that's his thing. But my favorite shows of my life are the ones where it's impromptu. A band like the Cadillac 3, who I would see 3 times in a weekend. None of those shows are the same, even if they're the same set list, because Jaron's freaking shredding and he does what he does, and his vocal cracks sometimes, they were, at that time, they were also pretty heavily drinking, it's that'll do it, but the imperfections are what made me want to keep coming back. If it sounds like the record, I'll go see it once.
And then listen to the record.
Yeah. If it sounds different every time, if you do a 7-minute version of random inserted song.
That's the other great thing. Is live you can change stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd never done that in the past. I'd never been able to. And I was always like, dude, this part's so cool. Just make it longer. Like, but that's not what it's like on the CD. The fans want to hear what it's like on the CD. It's like, they don't.
Yeah. Some do. Some do not.
Sure, but they can listen to the CD.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
They'll listen to it on the way home from the concert.
I remember my buddy took me to Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And there were just so many extra guitar solos. And I'm there at a side stage just texting my band. I was like, forget everything you think you know about the set. I'm changing everything. and I went back and like, I think there's one. The new song is the only one because I haven't had time to sit and pick it apart yet.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a song in the show that's under 6 minutes. Because everything's got like, okay, we're doubling this solo, we're adding another solo here, we're doing this, we're doing that. And it's like, some nights we'll move stuff around and change stuff because I want it to just be different. Because I get having a well rehearsed show.
Yeah.
I want to put on the best show possible for the people in the crowd, but I want us to have, at the very least, as much fun as they're having.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
Because that'll only make them have an even better time.
Yes.
It's like, I want this to be super fun for us and just play around because at the end of the day, this is a stupid job. It's ridiculous that this is a profession. We're playing. We're just playing instruments and singing songs.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun with it and make it worth it. Because this is about as big as a gift as you can get. I think it's the coolest job in the world because
Probably
it seems to be
is.
the only one that everyone wants.
Yeah, the athletes want it. Everyone wants it.
People far more successful with
Yeah.
far more money, they all still want to do this.
Yeah. It's such an interesting thing, too. I've heard someone say, I forget who it was, but they said, you're not getting paid for the show. You're getting paid to travel to the area to play the show.
Yeah.
Well, they're like, every artist would tell you they'd play the show for free.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
If you want to do the show next door to my house,
Yeah.
I'm going to charge you anything.
That's what they all say.
If
They're
you
like,
move my stuff.
yeah. If it's set up and I walk on stage
Yeah,
and I
I'll
just
do
get
that
to
for
do
free.
the
I'll
thing
do
in
that
front of
all
all
day.
the people.
I'll do it all day.
But that's
I'll
like,
sell pictures of my feet to pay the mortgage.
yeah, but that's what they always say is like, you're getting paid to travel. You're getting paid to not be out with your girlfriend, while you're going to do that. Yeah. I think that's an impactful thing too, is like, we were talking about fans and how do you get them there? Right. And
I hope you're going with an answer to this because I don't know.
For me, I've been trying, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I am a lifelong music fan. From the time I was a kid, some of my first memories are related to music. Like, I remember Nirvana breaking when I was 8. Like I posted a video about that today. Like, I remember that because I had older brothers that were teaching me what was cool.
Yeah.
They were my algorithm before I had an algorithm. My brother's showing me Metallica in the back of his 82 Scirocco with it blasting loud, asking me who it was and yelling at me when I didn't know. Like my parents playing what they played. My dad listened to country and my mom listened to like R&B, doo-wop kind of stuff. But my brothers were the ones that I thought were cool. I didn't think my parents were that cool, And it was rock and roll, and it was like grunge rock. My brother Chaz was 2 years older than me, and he knew everything about grunge rock before the internet existed, which I didn't know how he did it, but he was smarter than me, And then, my brother Sean would listen more pop music, and my brother Steve listened to like the heavier rock. But all of that to say that music is just such a part of so many people's lives. Most of my earliest memories are tied to a song or tied to an experience of that,
Do you tend to see that more so younger generation don't realize or recognize the value of music now?
I think
Possibly
music,
because they've never had to pay for it. But
yeah, I think music has definitely been devalued. I think experience is what they still value.
Yeah.
So this next generation, and honestly, most of these kids, they're kids that we get to have play our events, they value community.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's one of the greatest things about religion is community that you feel by celebrating together. They value experiences because they're not drunk all the time. So they actually get to remember the experiences, because cultures change drastically on that side of things.
There are, this is the lowest alcohol consuming generation in recorded history.
And when they're
Which
doing
I know
it,
is the
they're
owner
being
of a
more
liquor company.
conscious. Yeah. But when they're doing it, they're being more conscious about it.
Yeah.
They are more meticulous because there's so much access to information. They're more meticulous about finding the information that they want to find.
Yeah.
So like the cigarette ad on TV wouldn't be as good today as it was when that was still legal.
There were some great commercials when we were young.
Oh yeah.
It was like because you really had to put time into them.
Yeah, I remember I was
You had
actually
to stop people walking out of the room.
Yes, I remember. Like just recently, we were talking about kind of like the '90s and 2000s, and because that's when I grew up. So being an old head and telling everybody about that, and I sent some of my favorite commercials to like our group chat. Is like it's just nostalgia drip now, because it's crazy. I don't have cable, and my streaming services know that I'm a 44-year-old dude and the things that I like. So it feeds me all of those advertisements. So I don't see random advertisements, maybe the Super Bowl,
Do they? I don't watch too much TV, and I don't follow sports. Do they still put a bunch of work into the Super Bowl commercials, or is it a little?
The Super Bowl commercials are more. They do for the Super Bowl commercials. Like if you're going to knock something out of the park, that's what they do use. That's like the one good one every year. But not like it's not like I remember what was it, the Office linebacker, you know, like just things like that, and you know, like Geico ads, the start of that, and only a caveman can do it. Like they're not having creative like that.
Yeah.
But the most creative people aren't doing ads anymore because that's not what's moving the needle. The thing that's moving the needle is you putting it in front of the right people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I struggle with the social media stuff, and it's when I didn't have anything like on the calendar, I just got to like, you know, well, I've got nothing to do, so I'm just gonna, you know, just start uploading more stuff, be more active.
Yeah.
And it was going great. Everything was fine. And the second there was something on the calendar and I posted something that had dates on it or mentioned on sale or tickets, it went from like, oh, there's a couple or a few 100,000 people this is being put in front of, to like, cool, this goes to 2,300 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know how to fight through that. I don't know how it works.
What I'll tell you, and I mean, you have more followers than me, but you know what I mean? It's
don't show to any of them, so it doesn't matter. It's worth nothing.
Well, that's the thing is, the main way that I've seen things work for me and for my company, Raise Rowdy, is what value can you provide out of the gate?
Yeah.
And then if it's a sales pitch, put that at the end, you know?
So don't put up tour dates.
It's such an interesting thing. Like the way I would tell you to pitch tour dates is like get on, do a short form video and talk through these towns.
Yeah.
And talk through like last time I was at Sioux Falls, blah, 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 and I did this stupid thing or
I've
this.
done some of those by my lawyer.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I've done some stupid stuff.
Yeah, true. But that's like, in my head, it's like, how can you creatively express it?
Yeah.
That's the hard part that everybody's struggling with is a video you lip syncing your lyrics isn't going to move the needle.
No.
Right? It's just not.
It also sucks to do.
It sucks to do. It's not fun. And honestly,
I'm not fun enough to look at to even get away with doing it.
I mean, you're fucking way more fun than me, dude, you know?
I'm just like a guy, and anyone scrolling through social media, who's this 35-year-old lip syncing at me?
Yeah, it's weird. And it
If I had
feels
a
weird.
low-cut shirt and blonde hair, I'm, you know, nice to look at. Maybe different story. Maybe for the wrong reasons and it doesn't help the music, but at least then, you know, you got something to put in front of me. I just look like I'm just a guy.
Yeah, but the things that you have,
So I don't want to do that.
all of those people would love to have, which is the magical voice that you have, like the grit that you feel when you perform, you know, the soulfulness that you can express in a song, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, in my head, it's how can you express that?
Yeah.
And how can you do it quick? I do stupid me and my white beard on camera talking about stuff. And those work better than anything else I tried to do because I'm a person and I'm talking about how
Goes back to the real, raw, organic thing.
Yeah, I'm talking about how Dexter and the Moon Rocks popping makes me feel like Nirvana when I was a kid. They're opening the door for other bands, you know? Like that's what Nirvana did. They opened the door for all these other bands at that time. Not that those bands weren't already good. They were. It's just they had eyes on them.
Yeah.
And I feel like Dexter's kind of done that for like the alt rock scene right now. So
it takes those. I remember I've been fortunate to be it a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't think deservingly so, but I'm not the one who makes the decisions. If you want to put me on the stage, I'll stand on the stage. Well, I remember we did Jimmy Kimmel back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, with the exception of maybe Slipknot in the past, I don't know if he did Kimmel, but like we were by far the least put that on late night television.
Yeah.
On late night television. And afterwards, you just saw a giant influx, and then it just became very accepted.
Yeah.
So I got to see that firsthand, where it's sometimes it just takes putting a little foot in the door, because a lot of these, what are largely assumed to be quite niche markets, aren't that niche markets? It's just, you know, they don't play it on Top 40 radio.
Right.
But people are still listening to it, because I've been on those tours, and I've got friends who play those rooms, and there's enough people.
100%. Well, and oftentimes those fans that found it themselves feel more tied to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I talked about, like the only way I could get new music was if they were playing it on 105.9 The X, 104.7 The Revolution, or if it was on MTV. Like I didn't have YouTube. That didn't exist, you know, or it was my dad's old records or tapes.
I remember the start of YouTube when it was like, There wasn't anything really on
No,
there.
and it was funny, silly
It
videos
was
more than
videos
anything.
of me and my friends jumping into bushes,
Yeah.
thinking we were jackasses.
Right. But what they've
That
made
was
it
just
now,
what everyone did.
yeah, what they've made it now is crazy.
It's TV.
Yeah, it's TV, and
It's the only TV show I watch. It's the only subscription I have. I have that and Angel.
Yeah, crazy. It's for me. I never really was super duper into television in my adulthood.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, of course, like I was obsessed. But MTV had me obsessed when I was a kid.
Yeah, I had MTV and VH1.
Yeah, VH1.
All the
was
behind the
great.
music stuff was just.
yeah.
That's how I've envisioned. Like anytime anyone on my team or prospective team or pitching anything, that's always the vision I do. Like
Yeah.
I put forward. It's like I'm content wise. I don't want to be a talking head. I don't want to sit and do the hey guys pre-save this. I don't want to do that. It's not for me. I want to just make it all VH1 behind the music. Just so someone follow me around.
Yeah.
Follow me around. Oh, we're gonna talk about a tour. Cool. We're all gonna sit and have dinner, and we're gonna talk about the tour, and the camera's gonna catch it.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that's more real. And because the talking head thing works for some people. It always feels very inauthentic when I do it, and I've been trying desperately to figure out how all that stuff works.
Yeah. Live streams is the thing that's like going crazy right now.
Yeah.
It's a live show at home, right? So like I was talking today, we of course hosted Odie's. And I was talking today with Michael, who's the guy that kind of like books Odie's.
Mm-hmm.
He books all the stuff for Moonshine Flats, Moonshine Beach out in San Diego.
Yeah.
And we were talking, he's like, what do you think about the live stream? Like we can live stream each of these shows. And I said, well, the live stream could be impactful for people that aren't in town and can't get to town.
Yeah.
I said, but I think some of the label executives, some of the people's friends won't come out to see it if we live stream.
There's a double-edged sword to that.
Yeah. And then I said, what I would love is if we could, if that camera is good enough that I could tune that in the whole show on the lead singer where we have them on the Wednesday full band showcase, and we could get good quality audio, match up to the video, and like get quality videos out of it that we could post in post of like, you missed this one, don't fucking miss the next.
Because that would also be really cool for the artists. Because there's also, I mean, with the value that content has now, the cost of making it is going up and up and up and up and up. And I've talked to people, and it's, the numbers get insane. So even for the artists, and especially the younger and more starting out artists, that'd be probably a enormous deal for them. Which at the end of it, it's like, hey, here's a very high quality video of one of your songs.
Yeah. Well, that's what. So we brought on a content person. We used to just have like, hey, here's $150, shoot the show for us.
Yeah.
Now we have like a full-time contractor for the year. He's who's going out to the festivals with us. He's great. He's running digital. He's doing, home runs. And one of the things that I've just been talking with him about is like, how can we make the content and the experience more impactful for the artists to come want to play?
Yeah.
And so we're about to launch like a survey of like, hey, would you rather have some interview content where it's like you talking because you don't normally do that, or would you rather have like a full song production, or would you rather have clips of 3 different songs? You know what I mean? And just like kind of gauge what they would like to see us deliver.
Yeah.
The hard part about a full show, like if I record your 5-song set, it's just a lot of hard drive space for people.
It is.
So like we could have that live on our hard drive online, the cloud, for 2 weeks, but then if you don't download it, we got to delete it because
I wonder if
I can't pay forever on
I'm
that.
just thinking out loud on stuff. I wonder if there's, because you have an MC who can talk.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way of combining those things, kind of bringing in what like Kill Tony have been doing, and a few different things where you've got the round, and then it doesn't end with okay, bye.
Yeah.
There is then something of a conversational aspect to it. And maybe it's only like a minute a person. It's just our couple questions that are relevant to them, and maybe it's prearranged, maybe it isn't. I mean, that's easy to to research a couple things. You're from blah blah.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Whatever it is, I think that could be a good way of combining those things.
We so there's a couple almost Kill Tony style events in town. One's called Playlisted Pod.
Is that
And
the one they
then-
do opposite Zanies? I forget the name of the thing.
That one's
Struggle does it sometimes.
I think that one's called Hooked.
Yes.
And so there's two of them. Playlisted Pod is at, we were on there with them, and they have scheduled acts,
Yeah.
and then they pull from the crowd if there's crowd that wants to hop up. And then he gives constructive feedback,
Yeah.
you know, when there's constructive feedback to give. Sometimes.
It's got to be much harder because in comedy, if someone's bad and you roast them, it's like, that's part of it.
Yeah.
If someone's bad in music, you're just crushing someone's dreams.
Yeah. That's the hard part with me. And honestly, like, I mean, Raise Rowdy, like what we've built over the last 9 years is, hey, there's more than enough stuff that we like
Yeah.
that we're going to cover so that, I mean, there's of course stuff we don't like or isn't our favorite, but like, what's the point of me telling you about that
Yeah.
when
It's
I
just
could be
negative.
spending that time
Leave that
talking
to
about
someone
stuff
who
I do
likes it.
like. Yeah, exactly.
There's enough negative stuff on the internet.
Yeah, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, you know? And that's the hard part. Like when we did that event, I was like, how are we going to do this? And there was one guy who I think was fucking with us, and we kind of lightly was like, are you being serious here? Like, is this like real? You know, like, and
Did you ever find out for sure?
No, I still don't know.
So the one that I'd seen the one that Struggle was doing because I think he's a judge on the whole thing. He's like at the table on all of them.
Yeah.
And when I first saw, I'm killing it now unless it happens this week before this comes out. And I had the idea. I was like, I'm gonna hit up the other guys, and because I know Struggle and I love Struggle. And I was gonna just go dressed as Struggle. They were gonna on purpose pull me out of the hat, and I was gonna come up in like full disguise.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what I was gonna sing or what, but the entire bit was just I'm just gonna mess with Struggle.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to do it so bad.
That would have been actually hilarious.
I have no idea when they film it.
It's a cool concept. The open mic. It's an open mic concept, but with structure and clarity
Yeah.
and something around it that can make it be.
I've seen a few,
good.
and I've seen a couple good ones.
Yeah.
Which is my biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
Is that I've seen a couple good ones, and it seems a lot like, and this is an accusation at those, just the concept in general. It seems a lot of like relying a lot on poking fun at people who aren't good.
Yeah.
Where it's like that's the bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the hard part is because, of course, that's going to do well on socials.
Yeah.
Right? And the one thing that we've tried to figure out, too, is, like, how do you get it so that the socials work, but how do you also get it so that the long form, it's so good that you want to go listen to the long form?
Yeah.
Because, like, that's what Kill Tony, you never know what moment's there, but those Cam Patterson moments are what made you go watch the whole Kill Tony episode.
I think it's a good approach could be as well if you're recording the whole thing is to have it up as a podcast kind of thing, which would also help with the talking aspect to it of talking to the artists, and that could even be off stage. It could be only on the podcast part of it or whatever.
Yep.
Where there's now here's a 3-hour or whatever thing. Where you're getting to hear these new artists and people who don't live here and are getting here, they get to hear all this new stuff and maybe find their favorite artist, which is always a crazy thing to like hear an artist early and it's like, that's my favorite artist because you have access to Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
And this is your favorite, and that's such a beautiful thing. Is you
It
hear
is.
a new artist and it's like, I like this better than everything that's been, and we know what's been.
Yeah.
So that's always such a huge thing. Giving people that opportunity seems like a beautiful way to use it.
I think so too.
I think that's why it's so great what you guys do, and
Well, I mean,
all the others in town, where it's given a stage and a platform and a microphone to someone who otherwise has no way of accessing these people.
yeah, it's so impactful to watch people get better also, and like watch someone just shut a room up.
Yeah, they're
You
they're the moments.
Those are the coolest ones.
That's what I do it for,
Yeah, and
because it's different. It's different from a show.
well, and I mean, to be honest, when you sing a song, people are going to stop what they're doing and pay attention. Your voice is impactful. You know, it is. Whether you're singing metal music like you used to, or whether you're singing the bluesy, soulful things like you're doing now, your voice is wildly impactful to an audience. And that's what makes people entertained by you, and that's what makes people want to see you live. Yeah. It's hard to capture that sometimes on a screen, but it's easy to capture that when you're singing into a microphone.
That is something that was brought up to me recently. I brought on a new manager, and one of the things he'd said, because he heard the record I recorded, and he was like, his biggest thing was, you don't get anything you get from seeing you live here. You know, like we got to find how to capture what you do on a recording, and it is hard because I produce people too, and I produce myself, and it's very difficult. I still haven't figured out quite how to do it to capture that energy. I don't know if it can be. I'm sure it can, but it's there's a magic in live that is just irreplaceable. I don't know if it's just an energy in the room or seeing it with your eyes as it's happening. Yeah. Because, I mean, I along with many, have suffered of the imposter syndrome thing.
I think most people
do. While simultaneously the balancing act of having a bad ego problem, like at the same time, which is an odd juggle. But it wasn't until, kind of coming to terms with it with God, where I'm like, he gave me this. I can't downplay or talk shit on it. Like, I love my voice. Other people love my voice. I can do a lot with my voice that most people can't do.
Absolutely.
And, I'm now very proud and celebrate that because he gave it to me. I didn't do this. I can tell you with all the honesty in the world, I put little to no work into it. The most work I did to this voice was whiskey, tequila, and narcotics when I was younger. Yeah. And a brief stint with cigarettes. This is from him. And if you gave me a beautiful guitar and, a year down the line, someone goes, "That's an incredible guitar," I wouldn't go, "Oh, this thing, that's a piece of shit," because I'm being humble. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I'm gonna show it off. Look what my friend gave me. This is so good. I love this thing. Yeah. I love the gift he gave me, and I want to share it with people. So, but yeah, those moments of being able to do that, because at the same time, it can be an impactful thing where people kind of shut up and go, "Wow," but it's also, that's what I'm able to give to people, where they come up at the end and something about the energy or the emotion in it has moved them in a way, whatever's going on in their lives. And all I hope to do is help people a little bit, even if it's just to shut off the noise for a minute. Yeah. So that's what I like, is when I like doing it where I start out with a song like high, or back to the first song. It starts out low and slow, and it does its thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's good." And then it hits that big note out of nowhere, and you just hear the room go quiet. Yeah. And it's like, that's the moment for me.
I think that's such an important part of songs too, is like, if you sang at the top of what you can the whole time, it doesn't have the impact. No. Right? The build in a record, but mostly in a song, is really what makes them impactful.
It's why I fell out of love with the hard rock and more metal stuff, is because it starts out at 10 and it stays at 10. You might dip down to 8 for a minute, 3/4 of the way through, and then you're back at 10 again. I'm like, I find it hard to tell a story that way, or at least present the story in the right way. Yeah. We're supposed to have dynamics here. There's supposed to be a build. There's supposed to be a payoff.
Yeah. And I think that's, like, when I was, kind of prepping for this, like, hearing you say, I feel like this is what I've been meant to do the whole time. It has to be weird getting thrown into the success that you had at such a young age.
17.
Yeah, such a young age, with then the weight of the world on you to keep doing that, and then along the way figuring out that I kind of like doing this thing just as much, maybe more, and I feel more tied to that. Like, how did you even emotionally get through and get to that space?
I think I have a blessing and a curse of being a human light switch, where I don't have a dimmer at all. If I'm drinking, I'm drinking. We're blacking out and going to jail. If I am, quitting smoking or whatever it is, like, cool, it's done. I'm done. There isn't a process. There aren't steps here. It's shut it off. And as long as it stays off, I'm fine. Mm-hmm. I don't have the temptation to turn it on, but if for whatever reason I turn it on, it's on. Mm-hmm. And there's the same with, I started playing guitar again, because I stopped when I started singing. I was never a singer. I became the singer because we couldn't find one. Yeah. And then I had to stop playing guitar, and I didn't touch a guitar for 8 or so years. And I started playing guitar again. And I was like, I love this so much. This is my favorite thing. And that's when I started, writing for my stuff. And the second I did one, I was like, this is me. This is what I want to do. Switch on.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a process to it. It was automatically just feeling right. And I knew that that's where I belonged. I didn't have, to my knowledge, God in my life at that moment. So I didn't have a name for it to where that was putting a foot on the right path. It was just, it felt right, and it felt like that's where I needed to be, and that's where I was supposed to be. It felt natural, and it's just never shut off.
Makes sense. Another question I had was, like, when you're playing the country shows, I assume that fans of your earlier work often come.
Yeah.
How are they receiving everything?
It's a split room.
Yeah.
The ones who come are great.
Yeah.
But the fan base in general is a very split room on it, which, it's two very, very different musical worlds. So I never expected anything. It's been better than I expected. I expected to where it's like, there's going to be like 3 or 4 people come over, and then other than that, I'm building up from the ground. No more than 3 and 4. But it wasn't like, because it's easy to look at my career and then see me coming into this and being like, well, he's already wildly successful. This is easy this is just going to be an easy.
It's not
but
how
it's
it
like,
works, so.
I could sell millions of records here. And all these people have never heard one of them.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm coming in at, like, I've explained it to other, like, people earlier in their careers here in town. And it's like, I'm at the exact same spot as you right now. I have more experience, but the experience isn't here. I've just, like, it's two different lives. They're 2 different things, and they don't cross over.
Yeah.
Or not much. So it's still building up from the ground when I started doing this. I had a little bit of a helping hand and a little bit of a leg up, but for the most part, I'm still, it's more an introduction than a reintroduction.
For sure. Yeah. And I remember thinking, like, Hootie and the Blowfish, right? And when Darius crossed over from Hootie to Darius Rucker.
Yeah.
And how interesting it was at the beginning to watch a guy that was that successful with one of the biggest bands on the planet, not just in his genre, bands on the planet, to take that step back and play clubs again and play smaller rooms. That has to be an ego hit a little bit, at least to start.
A little bit, and one that I needed. I think I have a very healthy grasp on my ego at this particular moment in time. Comes in waves, though, so there's probably one around the corner. I think a lot of this has been God, like, just making sure to ego check me and be like, hey, if this picks up again, remember right now, okay? Because we've now learned this lesson. I think it is a little bit in the beginning, but ultimately I think it's more about proving that you want it for yourself and to him, to where if it doesn't matter, which it doesn't to me, I'm more than happy to sit in a room with 20 people in it and sing my songs, because I'm there to sing my songs. I'm not there to get screamed at. It's if all this went away, if I sell my company tomorrow, this becomes a hobby, and it's a hobby that I'm going to continue to do just as much, if not more. Yeah. But I then get to go in and go like, and it's cool. I'm going on tour for 6 months. Like, you don't need to pay me. That's not what I'm here for. All the shows are free.
It's an interesting thing too. I mean, art in general, right? I mean, so many of the great painters and don't get anybody really paying attention to their stuff until they pass. And think about historically through time, from the town of, like, people going town to town, bards and stuff like that, like, music was well loved, but it wasn't like extremely thought well of. Like, you didn't think a bard was the coolest guy on the planet. He had to go town to town to make
Wasn't
money.
taking anyone's wives.
Right. But I mean, the history that we've lived in, and before me and you too. I mean, I'm 44. Rock stars and real rock stars and world-changing live music events. Like, think about Metallica playing in Russia.
I opened for them in Italy to a million people.
A million people. It's crazy. Like the mass of that is crazy, you know, but that's how impactful music is when given the right sounding board, you know, and we have a bigger sounding board now than ever, you know, it's just not as focused. It's wide. Everybody has their shot. There's freaking 200 country songs being released every week that I know of. And there's a bunch more that I don't know of, you know? So I think the key now is how do you procure the attention that once was bestowed upon the greats?
Yeah, I think it's then you had to earn it, and now you can just go. It's like 5 buttons.
Well, you're earning it a different way, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you can put the same thing out there now, and it's like 5 clicks and maybe $1.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like you can't just get in front of people.
No, and when you bought a record, when I bought a CD, I bought that CD, probably knowing one song or knowing the band's previous work, and I liked the record. Whether I like the record or not, I paid $18 for that record. I liked the record. You know what I mean? I listened to it over and over and over. Sometimes I'd be like, man, that wasn't my best purchase. But most of the time I was like, no, this is my band.
And even if there's only like 5 on there, it's you don't sit and go, there are only good 5 songs. It's like, I love these 5 songs.
Yeah.
You don't even get the negative part. It's like the negative things are recent. Recent addition to our consumerism, I think.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But I miss buying albums. I remember you go back and you put it in. You sit and read the booklet.
Yeah,
look at
the
all
art.
the pictures they put in there.
Yeah,
and you read along to every lyric that's on there. I was reading the thanks.
Yeah. Who did they care enough about to talk about?
I don't even know who Greg is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg, for this album. Whatever you contributed.
Yeah, it's
however you impacted whoever's life. I'm thankful for you, Greg.
Yeah, it's such a. It was an experience to get it, and the physicality of it, I think, is starting to come back. So, I mean, vinyls, of course, we've seen that.
I want to make cassettes.
Well, CDs are popping back, they said. That's like what the media that's popping back. The hard part with cassettes is they deteriorate over time.
I know. I miss carrying around a 2B pencil.
Yeah.
And when my Walkman had chewed it up, I have a car memory going through the grocery store, rewinding the chewed up tape.
Yep.
It was Michael Jackson bad.
Well,
I remember
that's the only part with tape is, number one, if tape sounded better than records, cool, but it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Right? And it doesn't sound better than CDs.
It doesn't sound better than much.
Right. So that's the hard part with tape. The only thing tape has is the nostalgia.
Yeah.
But CDs, I guess, are starting to swing back because it is physical media still.
You can kind of get CD players.
Yeah, you can still get CD players. Like, tape players are harder, you know? And you could play them on your PlayStation if you needed to. Like, you probably have a PlayStation.
I can't believe. Remember mini discs?
Oh yeah,
how that was a thing for a second. I can't believe that never took off.
Well, it went away because everything went fully digital. Yeah. So that was the start of the digital. And instead of digital lives on the disc, digital lives on the iPad. Now it's on the abyss, right?
And it's not yours there.
No, that's
the biggest thing I hate about it.
I was reading a video on my feed like everyone.
I was reading about this subject.
Well, it had text on it, so I did read it. Yeah. But they said that someone bought Lord of the Rings trilogy and it went away from the service they bought it on, so they can't watch it anymore. You know?
And you're renting it.
Yeah.
It's a licensing deal.
Yeah. And that's such an interesting thing as in the closet of the outdoor thing, I have my stacks and stacks of CDs that I still haven't got rid of because they're meaningful to me.
Yeah.
And I don't listen to them in that format anymore, but I have them. I can't talk myself into getting rid of
you shouldn't.
them, because there is something to that physical media. Like, there is something to playing your CD so much that on track 7 you have to skip it because there's a scratch on the CD, and if you don't, it blips and shuts the thing off. Like, the love that you have for that was so strong that your experience was different than everyone else's. Also, just you didn't have 75,000 songs to listen to, so you listened to the same 18 over and over and over and over. Yeah, you knew every word.
You get to fall in love with it.
Yeah, you'd get to hear where the song popped, or where you heard, you know, I don't know what's happening there, and someone's shaking a sugar packet in an Aerosmith song, you know, like that's the thing that I think is the hardest part right now. I mean, if you think about radio has gone away from this person thinks this song's cool, I'm going to play it, for a long time, right? Editorial radio was gone by the time I was a kid. It was all the program director was picking it. And then it went from program director to regional program director. Then it went from national to national programming, right? Yeah. And that's why Spotify and all of those things became so big. And then it used to be on Spotify that it knew I liked new music, so it'd feed me new music. Now it's just feeding me the stuff I already like by the bands I already know. You know, I have to physically go out and explore. The thing I've been doing is using Spotify with friends. I'll share my Spotify with them. We do a blend, and then I can see what they're listening to.
That's cool. I don't have Spotify anymore, so that's a cool feature. One of the things that I see on Apple Music that I like, that I've found useful a lot, is when you go on an artist, you scroll all the way to the bottom of it, there'll be similar artists, and it's generally very good.
Yeah.
And I've found some great bands through that.
I think I've used that extensively as well.
I found there's a band called The Band Feel.
Yeah, they're great.
Found that. I found Bishop Gun that way.
Yeah, I wish they were still around. Yeah.
Bishop do they bring up?
I mean, they've been broke up for a while, but they were so great. That's like such good soulful Southern rock. Yeah. I've been digging back into what I call like the new resurgence of grunge.
Yeah.
And Texas has been in that world for a while, like early Co, you know, Treaty Oak, of course, like is blowing the world up. Watching these
Austin
bands,
Leeds kind of got that thing.
Absolutely, yeah, big Austin fan too. But Dexter and the Moon Rocks had #1 song at rock radio for like 15 weeks. And all of the bands that are in that list of ones that you should pay attention to are all seeing a big spike from it.
Nice.
Fox and Veed, which is a band from North Carolina that's like country, rock, mashup, a little bit of soul. Cigarettes at Sunset, which is like fiddle-driven alt rock, which sounds, you know, weird, but that's what they do. Weird, you know, they're from Boone, North Carolina. High June, which is more traditional like alt rock, they're opening for Dexter too. So like kind of like all the openers that Dexter's brought out are all seeing their streams double or triple a month from Dexter having that moment. And it's like, that's what grunge rock was like. Soundgarden didn't sound like Nirvana, didn't sound like STP, but the fans that liked one liked all of them.
Yeah, because it's got the thing.
Yeah, so that's still there, but now it's based on who takes out who on tour and who is in that little freaking list at the bottom of who's related to who. But it's still based on someone having a breakout, you know? And like Treaty Oak's bigger than Dexter and the Moon Rocks. Treaty Oak's fucking huge.
I just my assistant's close with them, and we were talking about it because I think we're looking at touring a bunch next year together. And he was like, yeah, they play stadiums. I was like, okay, Chris, that's not exaggerating. It's like they sold out Cowboy Stadium.
Crazy.
Like, that's nuts.
I'll tell you this.
I've seen a show at Cowboy Stadium. That place is
big,
real big.
Yeah, Treaty Oak is still independent too. Like,
really,
dude, getting to do what they're doing.
I know why you're buying that real nice thermal scopy out of the festival.
But that's one of the.
So you're saying whatever they offer me, tell them to double.
Well, man, I mean, honestly, just getting in front of their fans.
Yeah, that's.
Right?
That's
because they're feral.
Yeah, one of my favorite things I've seen in a long time, and it bummed me out because I didn't get to play, and then I watched this because it was this kind of side by side realization, but it also was another reminder that I didn't need, but I was very welcome for. Of just like, that's why we do this. And there was a kid. Like the central barricade split, and he was on the left corner. He was wearing a green shirt. I'll remember his face forever. And he felt every single second of that. He looked like he was breaking down, singing every single word. younger kid. He had two of his friends, and they all loved it clearly. But there was just that was the best moment of his life. And I couldn't watch the show as much. I was just locked on him watching the whole thing, and I was like, this is perfect. That's why we do this. Is for that kid.
Yeah.
And if there's one of them in the whole crowd, that's it. That's it.
I think I feel the same way. And as I was younger, I was that kid, right? But as I've gotten older and we get to work, of course I can be side stage for a show. But I was back and I was not facing Treaty Oak. I hope they're not mad at me for this. I was watching these 17-year-old kids go crazy because that's what feeds my heart now. We had people sign a guitar that one of the production guys brought, and we gave it away to this kid that was in the front row, him and his mom. And he was, for Chase Matthew, he was singing every freaking word to Chase Matthew. And you could just tell he just loved it. And so me and one of the marketing girls from Peachtree went and we're like, who are we going to give this guitar to? Right? Saw this kid. And then we gave it to him and he got up on stage. And then we got Chase to sign it for him. Even though Chase wasn't on our stage. Yeah. And then Chase said, go get him. Let's meet him. And
he's such a sweet guy.
He is. And I'm just tearing up because that's why I do what we do is you get to turn people's lives and make them go crazy when they go crazy for your songs and you see it. We don't get a ton of that. I don't make it happen. I get to let you make it happen sometimes, right?
That's making it happen.
Yeah. But, watching that kid and just impacted me so much, That's why I do this. That's why I quit my day job that paid me significantly more than I pay myself, right? To do this thing is because I felt like that kid when I was at my first concert, regional band called the Clarks. They were our heroes, And now that kid got to meet the guy who he was singing all the words to, and he'll never forget it. Maybe he'll play guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get to give that experience to someone else.
In 10 years.
Yeah. Or maybe he gets to sit on my side and he gets to have everybody else do it.
And you're sat interviewing him.
Yeah.
And how do you get into this? You gave me a guitar.
It's crazy. But the whole thing is that he was fully lost in the music.
Yeah.
And that's why you do it. That's why you have been doing it your entire career. It's because those kids and parents, parent was just as the parent watching their kid get on stage and get presented the guitar and getting to talk on a microphone and you could just see the tenseness in him. She was even happier than he was, but she's the one that brought him to that concert and got him front row, because she loves it he does. That's the thing about music that the community, the personal feelings, the words and how you express them. And I think that's the stuff that your new music is a representation of that maybe sometimes hard rock's harder to express.
It is. Subject matter, I feel like I live in the same world, but it's a lot easier to talk about effectively doing this.
It's a weird thing too. Right now, music, rock and country are very adjacent.
Yeah.
You did a song with Royal Lynn a couple years ago and she was doing country and, of course, is having the success she's had in rock. And there's not a lot of females in rock, so I think that's a great lane for her too. But they're so close. And bands like Lakeview, they're firmly mashing up country and rock. And of course, we talked about Treaty Oak.
It's definitely easier when, easier is not the word. It's a smoother transition to blend them because instrumentally, same worlds.
Yeah.
I think when, and it's still happening to a smaller degree, but a couple of years ago when there was the very big kind of hip hop lean in country, I'm that feels like a bigger stretch.
Yeah.
Because now you're taking away instrumentation that is a part of this. and you're removing that completely and bringing in something that's never been. So it's a longer step to take to be like, no, it's still the same thing. It's like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And I'm not saying that's neither being good nor bad, but it's a much bigger stretch to be like, yeah, it's country. It's like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's pop music with
pop
some
music.
instruments in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pop music and you drink beer.
Yeah. Well, and for me, it's always been interesting to me. You never hear someone in the country space complain that a song's too rocky.
No.
Right? You'll hear too
And everyone
poppy.
makes them more rock live.
Yeah, yeah. And you'll hear
rock
someone
is
say,
fun live.
it's very fun live. You'll hear someone say, this is too poppy for me.
Yeah.
You'll hear someone say, what the heck's country music doing with rap, right?
Yeah.
But the rock crossover always seemed pretty easy.
Even with like Hardy, and when he's gone pretty
100%.
heavy with it.
Yes.
Like he's
Done
skipped
some metal
rock and gone to
songs.
metal.
Yeah.
And then my limited view, I don't look at most stuff, but my limited view of it didn't really seem to be any complaints or pushback. Ironically, the other direction, horrible.
Yeah, it's tough.
For being one of the most self-proclaimed inclusive and open-minded genres, the metal communities, gatekeepery. And if you better stay in that box that we put you in, or else.
I'll tell you this. So Matt was at Crossroads 41, which is a festival in Wisconsin, great 3-day country festival. And they did what they called a rock detour the next day. So we had the Raised Rowdy stage at the rock show too. And Matt was like, who's here for the country days? And everyone's like, boo.
It was a dirty word in rock for a long time.
Yeah.
And I will hold my hand up and say I thought of that as a dirty word too. But it's also, I came from a place where we didn't have a word for country.
Yeah.
I liked country music. I just didn't know it was country music.
Yeah, makes sense.
One of my earliest memories is like listening to Shania Twain and Johnny Cash. And I didn't have a name for it.
Right.
But I think a lot of it comes down to and this is with everything, but there's that misconception for people who have not been exposed to it. Country music is, I don't really want to sit and listen to songs about beer and trucks.
Yeah.
It's like, that is there.
Right.
None of us are going to deny that exists. But if you like people telling stories, there isn't a better place for you than here.
Yeah.
No one has successfully done it better yet.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it. And because you can stretch it pretty far in just about any direction and explore a lot of different things. And it seems to be, from my experience, not only accepted, but celebrated.
Yeah.
Which I think is a beautiful thing. And I think country has progressively become less and less and less of a taboo word within, at least the rock world.
Yeah.
I think we have the Hardys and the Post Malones and probably many more to thank for that.
Yeah. It's I worked at Big Loud, so I got to know Hardy a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Great human, and just he's a rock fan.
We've hung out a couple times. We did a festival together, and we had a great tequila fueled night afterwards. It was a blast. He was a sweetheart.
Yeah, it's artistry for me. It needs to be an ever evolving thing.
Yeah,
right.
It's art.
Yeah.
If it's gonna stay the same, it is gonna get repetitive.
Yeah, and so whether it's Wyatt Flores going from really folky stuff to what some of is alt rock and some of is more poppy, he's kind of exploring.
Yeah.
He's 25.
You're supposed to, and I hope that continues when he's 55.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the part of the fun of doing this. And I understand it from the fans' perspective. I do get it. And I've been told about it many times because I've been the poster boy for switching up on people. But I get it from the fans' point where it's like, no, you did this and I love this. I want more of that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how completely miserable I would be? I got into this because I make art. Mm-hmm. And I just want to make art and create things. And if I just keep doing the same thing, I'm not creating anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just rewriting the same song again. And eventually, I'm just going to stop doing it entirely because why?
Yeah, you don't feel it.
And being able to have the freedom to just explore. I have stuff like the most recent single and the bed I made, which are, I'm not going to say it's bluegrass because that's another community that don't like you saying you're them when you're not. But it's encroaching in that world.
Yeah.
A little brother, we're out the vibe. And then all the way up to like the Ain't No Use and some of the newer stuff I've been doing, which they're Leonard Skinner songs. That's just Southern rock. And some of the other new stuff is, might as well be a Stevie Ray Vaughan song because I've been allowed to play guitar solos now. My guitarist got into the country, and I was like, well, seems like my time to shine. So I've been going hard with that. And then, more in the country lane and some that's just straight up, pretty much just blues songs.
Yeah.
And I imagine that's going to continue changing forever. And I hope it does because it's so much fun.
Yeah. I think the creative expression's the thing that, like you said, that keeps you motivated, right?
Yeah. And it's whatever we're going through.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not mad about anything right now. I don't want to make angry music.
Yeah. Well,
I'm angry about
good,
what?
Yeah.
The couple things that I'm irked enough about to be angry about, I'm talking about that.
Yeah.
It's going to open up a different can of worms, and we're not going there publicly.
Yeah. It's good, though. I mean, I think this whole thing's about seasons, right? Yeah, life's 100%. About seasons. And if you can't have the seasons that you want to have and that your creative juices feed you towards, like, what's really it all about?
Yeah.
And luckily for me as a consumer, I can listen to Incubus and then I can listen to country music back to back. Yeah. Or I can go through a phase where for 3 months I only listen to bluegrass music. Yeah. Right? As an artist, you are a consumer too, but you're also expressing art.
Yeah.
So like, of course, the things that you're listening to and the things that you're living through are going to impact how that art is expressed. Yeah. Like
there might actually be some angry stuff coming up. Breaking news. I'm terrified to leave my house because every time I do, we seem to acquire something we didn't need, and I said no to. And yesterday was a exotic African tortoise that is now in my backyard.
Oh, wow.
I'm not best pleased about that. So there may be an angry song coming up about tortoises.
Oh man, it's
I think it was under our house, under the new house I just bought. I think there was a tortoise. It was clearly someone's pet that got too big and got released, and it has now been claimed.
Well,
it has a name and everything now.
Angry tortoise music. That's a subgenre right there. Yeah. Well, let's talk more about the record. So, I mean, you've been releasing tracks, of course, but you've
also been writing more.
Yeah. Well, that's how it works. Everybody always says, like, I got this record done, and then the next stuff, that's the stuff I love.
This album's been done 3 times.
Yeah. Well, that's good, though.
Yeah, and when he watches this, he's going to learn this for the first time because I didn't say it to him because I didn't want to make him feel guilty about saying it. When I brought on my new manager, I'd sent him a link to the album I recorded, and he was like, listen, these demos for the album are great. I think there's definitely some holes in it that you need to fill with like these specific songs. I think some of them are not strong enough for it, and I think we've got to, like we were saying before, figure out a way to get that live energy there. I didn't have the heart to tell him that had been mastered already and that was ready to release. Well, I was like, I guess the album isn't as finished as I thought it was.
Yeah.
But by that point, I'd already written a whole other EP I was going to release as well. So my brain was thankful because I'm like, okay, because it didn't feel done to me because there's stuff on top of that I want to do. But yeah, the album it's coming. It's going to be finished when a label tells me, hey, you're done. We're putting this out now. We're not paying for any more studio sessions.
Yeah. Makes sense, honestly. It's has to be interesting and challenging to release an album too. Yeah. Singles, of course, like they have their day in the sun, but they're only a single.
Yeah.
And you get another swing.
I love both for very, very, very different reasons. And I have every intention of doing both as kind of 2 separate things. So where an album, I mean, we grew up with albums being a thing like that.
Absolutely.
It wasn't 10 or 12 songs on a CD. It was an album. It's a collection of work, and it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Like it's its own life. It's its own piece of collective art. So it still carries that same importance to me, and I'll always make albums for that reason. If the idea of albums completely goes away, I'm still going to be making albums.
Yeah.
But I love where we're at with the single side of this because it means that I can have the album, and then all these other songs that have no place being in that collection of work, I can just release those too.
Right.
And I have so many. There's so many that there's like, this doesn't fit on an album, or even like this doesn't even necessarily feel like the same artist. They can just go and live on their own as a single. And I love that so much. I'm so glad we've gotten to that place because, I mean, in the past that wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd know
If a song didn't fit,
feel right.
That song was being buried.
Yeah, yeah. And if you put it on the end of a record, you're like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Every now and again, someone would do that hidden track at the end.
Yeah.
Which I've done one of in my career. And it was, no, two. And it was a lot of fun. Where they're just, it's so left field.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's allowed to be. Mm-hmm. It's not even on the track list. Mm-hmm. It was a fun thing for the fans. But yeah, I want to keep doing the singles and just whatever comes to my mind. And I don't want to have to deal with marketing or any of that stuff. It's like, oh, I wrote the song, I love it. It's definitely not going on an album. I'm just uploading it now.
Mm-hmm. Let it roll.
And then and don't even tell people it's out. It's just, it'll be there.
Let it rip, and then
I think
someone
that's
can
cool.
explore it as they explore catalog.
Yeah, they'll just find it and be like, have you heard that one song, whatever? It's like, no, what record's on? I was like, it's not. When did it come out? I was like, 3 weeks ago. It's like, I haven't seen him post about it or anything. He's like, nope, he didn't. He just showed up one day.
It's I mean, realistically, like, that's art.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that. I love the idea of it.
Yeah. I mean, you of course have people dropping surprise records all the time, but
spoiler alert, that surprise record has been planned for 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a year of planning to
choice.
to get a surprise record out. And it's because, again, how do you catch people's attention? Dropping something that they've been looking for as a surprise catches attention, you know?
That is the release strategy.
100%. Yeah. It's as I've gotten deeper into this world, sometimes watching how the donuts are made is tough.
It is.
You know? Sometimes it's great, though.
Sometimes, well, there's also, you get the thing of, you've seen enough of it to kind of be able to piece stuff together that you don't know about. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to be purposely vague on this. Like, maybe someone releases a song, and it's universally considered to be terrible. And the first thing it's a really big artist. And the first thing I think is, what if everyone knew? Everyone knew, and the terrible thing was put out on purpose, because this is going to start a really big conversation, get everyone talking, then you drop the good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just you listing a bunch of stupid stuff you're doing.
Yeah. Or, like, I mean, think about Outkast.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. 103,000, the flute music. You know?
I was talking about a country guy.
Yeah. It's a very interesting time in.
It's like, that's also part of a strategy where it's like, is that a part of it?
Can be, I guess.
It could be. We don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a plan. It was like, we're going to release like just some absolute slop.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be sending it around and talking about it, and then we're going to release something really cool. And I don't know if he's done that since. But
I'll tell you this.
Smart strategy.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Like we said, they always say no press is bad press.
Some of it is. I've learned.
Some of it is.
I've had bad press.
That's true. But I think that's kind of like one of those things, right?
Yeah.
Where it's however you present the thing, if people are talking about it, it's not necessarily.
I don't think that was bad press.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely not fun press to be on the receiving end of.
Right.
But I think there's a play out of that that's really strong.
Yeah.
It could be a genius move. And it sucks. There's a suck that comes with it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if you know the big picture plan,
then it's fine.
Yeah, I'm just eat that for a minute.
I can tell you my experience, and I wasn't there very long, of a label is they're more reactionary to stuff like that. Like, crap, okay, we got to spin.
Yeah.
It's more spin of like, how do we recover from this than it is a planned assault.
Okay.
You know what I mean? At least from what I've experienced in the limited time that I lived in that world. You know, whether it's artists publishing a music video too early, it's not they just posted it. It's that they said, no, I want to release this next week.
Yeah, I've been that guy too.
You know, like that happens, you know. Or it's then they had a whole plan of what they were going to do, and then it's, okay, let's pivot and make that happen.
Yeah.
You know? But at the end of the day, I mean, it's your art.
Yeah.
You can express it how you want.
We can. to our own detriment sometimes.
For sure. I mean,
I think that's
part
a
of it.
very important thing that some people don't learn, but most of us learn often too late. Where it's the very important part about building a team around you that you can genuinely trust, and that you have the wherewithal to listen to them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, especially, get to a certain point, and they're like, "Well, it's crazy you said that because I disagree, and I'm right about everything."
Yeah.
Because I know best. But it's having those people in place who have your interest at heart, and you disagree with them, but you're like, look, I'm paying them to know better than me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna listen to them, and if I was right, I get to go, "Ha, I was right," and then you get that satisfaction instead.
Right. Yeah.
Last thing you want is to be wrong.
Yeah.
And everyone caved and did it your way, and you were wrong.
Yeah.
Because now you got to eat that, and that's not fun.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the end of record deals, or you know what I mean? Yeah, it can be. It's like I always say this to artists. I'm like, you get to call the shots when things are working, as long as they keep working. Yeah. And then when it stops working, you have to listen to the other people that are invested in it too.
And it's not about bending the knee and just being like, do whatever they tell you to do, because sometimes they're wrong. And it's knowing when to stand your ground and be like, no, listen, this is the way I feel like it has to be done. Other than, I think this is best, so we're going to do it that way. It's like you have to make a call like that with very educated information. Yeah. And like really make sure you're doing your homework. And if even then you feel super strong about doing it your way, you have to do it with like, this is a part of this art for me, and that's why it has to be this way. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. Yeah. But this is part of it.
Yep. I think that's impactful too. And I mean, honestly, that's great information and advice for young artists, on the come up. Is at the end of the day, no one else has to sing the songs the rest of their life. Yeah. You do. So make sure you like them.
Legitimately. Like sometimes like that song that could be a real easy number one, and it's not good. It's not that good, but it's going to be easy number one. You're going to have to sing that when you're 30. Yeah. Do you want to sing that when you're 30? Be careful about what you record, because that's going to follow you. Yeah,
and if you're lucky, it does well, and if you're not lucky, it does.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't do well, then you don't have to sing it. But if it does well and it is that easy number one, you're gonna have to be singing that stupid song when you're 30.
Yeah, absolutely, or 40. You know.
There are. I mean, this is absolutely no shade to them whatsoever, but Blink-182 obviously started when they were young. A lot of songs about high school and just a bunch of silly stuff. And now they're in their 40s or 50s. Yeah, probably. And they still have to sing about high school girlfriend. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. That's got to feel weird for them as well. They do. They love it, and they love doing their music. But there's also anything you make now could potentially be what you have to do when you're 50 years old. Yeah. And I always keep that in the back of my head. Like, do I love this? Do I love this enough? Because I've had songs follow me that I'm like, I don't want to do that song. Yeah. Some that I flat out refuse to, even if people want them. And I'm probably the asshole for that. But I'm just like, I cannot bring myself to do that. That's not happening. Yeah. So that's part of it as well, where you have to see big picture, because this is our art and we want to do it for our whole lives. There is going to be a day that comes that I stop writing songs and I stop playing music, and I will be dead that day. Yeah. And up until then, everything I do, I have to be okay with, like, my grandkid is going to watch me sing this song. Yeah. Do I want him to watch me sing this song? Yeah. I keep that in my head.
I think that's an important thing to think of, and not just think of, but help you steer. Yeah. You could write a song, it's a great song, but it's not the right song for you.
Yeah. That's another really hard one. Yeah. Where it's knowing when it's not yours.
And I think co-writing, that probably happens even more, than when you're, of course, solo writing.
I found some weird skills through doing that. Yeah. I'm really good at writing teenage girl songs.
Yeah.
Really good at it. And there's a couple. And my other thing is, like, I record everything because I write in the studio. So there is on my hard drive some of the songs I've written for, like, girl pop music. and there's versions of me singing it. No one will ever hear, but they exist because that's how I've written it.
That's so funny.
And I've done like a bunch of K-pop stuff.
Yeah.
And there's versions of me singing them. It gets real weird.
That's wild.
I mean, there are ones I obviously know weren't for me. I'm not moving into it. Who knows what the future holds? I've switched it up a bunch. I mean, maybe I'll become a K-pop artist. But
well, one thing that I think I want to ask, and maybe this is a good way to close, is like when someone leaves one of your shows, current state, what do you want them to have experienced, and what do you want them to think about on the way home?
God, there's so many answers to that. I think a big priority of mine now at this point in my life is for people to leave, if they didn't before, I want them to leave with even just a curiosity or a question about God, where they're like, if they knew me before, they're like, wow, he's very different. He seems like a different person, like in a positive way. I wonder. Even if it's just that.
Yeah.
Or something I said, or more likely he said through me. That's very important to me. But it's also, I just hope I was able to shut the world off for them a little bit and them leave and just love music a little bit more for another day. Where they leave and they go, oh, we've got to go to another show. I don't care whose show. It doesn't have to, it probably won't be mine because the next one's probably hours away. But I want them to leave it and go, live music is so cool.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that from the experience that I had, even you playing acoustic, that's, people can't look away. And, I mean, just by looking at you, you know, you can tell. The Lord
Is it loud enough?
It's an important part of your life.
Yeah.
Religion's a tough thing. I've struggled with it through my childhood and youth. Grew up heavily Catholic, and
that's usually the one that people struggle with. The more I talk to people,
it's hard to see things bad happen and cover up. You know, like that's been in my lifetime. You know, that was tough. And then, no, I didn't have anything happen to me or anything. No one, you know, but I truly believe that the Lord is real and that he blesses me on a daily basis. And
that's all that matters.
Yeah. And I
no
thoroughly miss the community.
Hey, you have to go to church.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't say you have to go to mass. Also told us not to worship dead people. So I'm not going to get too heavy into the Catholics aren't Christians thing, but
I have been extremely blessed in so many ways. And I don't believe it's all by chance. It doesn't make sense.
There's a movie on Amazon about C.S. Lewis. I'll be honest, I ended up taking meanings. I didn't watch the whole thing. But in the beginning of it, he starts by saying, if you asked me before I believed in God, what I believed, and then he went onto a tangent that was basically like, we are billions and trillions in one chance that these atoms collided and created life around us and created the universe, and most of the planets around us couldn't even sustain life, and we're just a series of coincidences and like billions in one chance that we got here, and we developed into this intelligent life and going into the thing. And in my head I was like, same. And if you ask me now, believing in God, what I believe, it is the exact same thing, but I have an explanation for it. Because there was nothing, and then two things within nothing somehow got close to each other and collided. Big bang, everything's here, and within that there was a perfect recipe for life to exist within. If that's not a miracle, I don't know what is. And also, these two things that are in nothing, because there's nothing, how are there two things? And then they collided. How? Where? How did they get near to each other? Also, what is near? There's nothing. Yeah. Everything points to it outside of my actual experiences and encounters with God. It's the evidence for it is everywhere, even in the argument against it.
Yeah. It's
And as long as you have that relationship with Jesus, that's all it is.
yeah. I've struggled with my faith. I've struggled with you know, people with power abusing it, and you know,
Yeah, no, that'll happen because we're people.
yeah, it
Kinda-
happens.
That's kind of the point of the whole thing. Is like we are sinners and we are bad, and it's why there's a very, very big distinction that I think is often not made between the church and organized religion and God and the Bible and Christ.
Yeah.
They're two different things. One of them can be corrupted, and if it can be corrupted, it will be corrupted.
Yeah.
If not by man, then the devil, or whatever word you want to put on that.
Yeah.
That can be corrupted. So that's why that's why it's never like, hey, put your faith in the church, which is my bigger issue with Catholicism, because it's the church. The church is very easy to corrupt. Evil people will find a way to do evil things.
Yeah.
And as long as you know that, and yes, find a good church. A good church is a great thing.
Yes.
But it's why they're two very, very different things, very distinct things, and the faith and the relationship and the power needs to be put on the right thing, and not the thing that can be affected by humans who will mess it up.
100%. And I think I'm a believer, and I would love to find a community. I have community with music. I have community with friends. I have community that I've had with religion, and that's the impactful part of it for me.
Well, I'll do a pitch, and I no longer go there, obviously, because I'm not here full time. But Legacy here in town was an amazing church. That's where I went my whole time here. They were amazing and great. I know there's a few other great ones in town as well. But if anyone is looking for one in town, that's the one I would recommend.
Well, man, thank you for being here. Like I said, I'm sorry for the circumstances that brought this to happen.
It happens. There's a bigger reason for something.
Yeah, with live shows canceling, but I promise you we'll do our best to get you on another one soon.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I've got all the stuff in the back of the truck. I haven't even unpacked.
Yeah.
We'll go now.
Yeah. We appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
And thanks for hopping out here during rush hour traffic to podcast with me too, brother. Appreciate you. Well, guys, that's the episode. Make sure you follow along. We're excited for the new record.
Yes.
I hope you'll send some of it to me in the state that it's in.
I'll send it all right now. I'm sending that and the EP. It's not even finished being recorded yet.
I can't wait to listen to it.
Live on air.
Guys, if you haven't seen Danny play, it's his voice speaks volumes, and
literally
the songs and the songs do too. But man, thanks for hopping on here and chatting everything, and including a little bit of religion with me.
Yes, 100%. I'm not being rude. I just sent you the album.
Awesome. Well,
I realized that on camera it just looks like I'm texting while you're talking to me.
Yeah. Well, no, I
it was you. I was texting you about them.
Yeah. I can't wait to listen to it, and maybe as we get closer, we can do a sneak preview of one of them on there.
100%.
So,
yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to the podcast. We're thankful for you to come along and listen to Danny's journey and some of mine too. Cheers.